What, you thought it was gonna get better? Getting worse. Every day. It must be fate. So we're back with His Majesty Destiny Stephen Bonnell II, and here is what he says today. He's talking about Islam. So, he says, open quotes, Islamophobia isn't real, close quotes. Coming from the same people who used to say Starbucks was waging a war on Christianity by putting, open quotes, happy holidays, close quotes, on their cups. Not waging war on Christianity, but it is condescending, to be honest. I do partially agree in that a lot of Islamophobia isn't actually Islamophobia. It's really just racism with a dash of xenophobia mixed in. And this was his response to Matt Walsh, I suppose. So, where do I even begin? Well, how about with this?
I will make Islamophobic jokes because I do hate Islam and I am Islamophobic. Yes. And I am Islamophobic. And I am Islamophobic.
And I hate Islam. Thank you for reminding me.
So my comeback to Destiny when it comes to this is the following. Using your own logic, sir, if you tell us that a lot of Islamophobia isn't actually Islamophobia, it's really just racism with a dash of xenophobia mixed in, doesn't that make you a xenophobic racist then, Mr. Bonnell?
Yes.
Applying your own rules and logic to this. But here's the reality is that, as usual, this is a matter of double standards. This is a matter of rules for thee, not for me. It is a matter of not having a single core belief. Everything can be flipped around in an instant, as long as it's a good move to make in the political chessboard to make the right wing look bad. That's all. So, it was edgy to make fun of Islam up to whenever he did it, so he did it. But the moment right-wingers started doing it, he flipped. And now he's like, you're Islamophobic. Likewise, it's the same thing that happened with SJWs. Do you remember that? When like the first people that were making jokes on like all sorts of like social justice warriors, particularly when it comes to hardcore feminists, were left-wingers. I'm talking Amazing Atheist, TJ. I'm talking Thunderfoot. Like, left-wingers made it popular. Then the right jumped onto the bandwagon and started pushing it so much that now the left started being like, no, actually, you know what? That's cringe. No, that's cringe now. We don't like it. So now we're going to support those groups simply because you started doing that. It was a complete total flip. But hey, he's the one lecturing now on how stupid Christians are, where we complain about the fact that you are trying to censor everything that has to do with us. It's an older concept, but you are the ones who are now pushing in academia for, you shouldn't say BC AD. No, we should say BCE CE because you're trying to rip Christianity out of everything, even though, once again, I know it's an older concept. It starts about 200 years ago. It doesn't matter because you are pushing it now because it serves your purpose, which is anti-Christian and anti-Western sentiment and propaganda. You are the ones who push the idea of white guilt and decolonization of the curriculum at university. You are the ones that make students stand up and apologize to minorities for things they have not done. You are the ones that in order to decolonize said curriculum, you are removing words such as Anglo-Saxon. You are the ones that say that Vikings are Muslims. This is your side. The sides that took a Viking Norse man from history, real historical character, and turned him into a black woman. You do this, and then the moment we speak, you call us racists. It's your side, man. Destiny is in no position whatsoever, as is just demonstrated on this video, due to his own hypocrisy, to come and lecture you or to tell you that what you're doing is either racism or xenophobia and whatnot. He's in no position to do it. Zero.
And I am Islamophobic.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that, of course, Islam is not a race. I think we understand that. So just because you don't like Islam, it doesn't make you racist in any way, shape, or form. The two things do not necessarily have to be related. Can you have someone who hates Islam and is also racist towards Middle Eastern people, black people? In fact, Semitic, anything, because anyone could be a Muslim, right? Could that be a situation? I suppose so. Yes, of course it can. But the imbecile says a lot, which requires data. You have to prove that. But good luck proving it, considering the fact that you and your side call everyone a racist anyways. Now, when it comes to xenophobia, so the hatred of those who are foreign, it's the waves of millions and support for illegal immigration that caused an increase in xenophobic sentiment onto people that were just normal. So yeah, it's the fault of those kind of positions that your side pushes. But regardless of this, the one thing that I really want to focus on is the complete and utter relinquishing or even facade of having a logical consistency in your positions from the radical left. Think about it. Leftists ending up defending Islam is the most blatant example of walking contradictions that you could ever imagine. That is because they pretend to be pro-feminism, pro-atheism, pro-secularism, pro-LGBTQ+, pro-transgender rights, and all that stuff. And yet they love defending Islam, which is strongly against all of the aforementioned things and principles and ideas. If you look at actual Muslim countries and the sort of laws, particularly the very strict ones, because if you look at Saudi Arabia and then you look at Tunisia, even the way women dress or the idea of the laws that are actually implemented into everyday society are different. So there are different levels of strictness, if you will. But in general, if you look at the strictest countries where Islam is fully in power and strongly connected to the law, and the way they treat women and the way they treat gay people, meaning they push them off the 9th floor of a building, when you look at stuff like that, it makes even the most fundamentalist among the Christians look like a liberal in comparison. So it is insane to me that his ilk will pretend to support ideals such as, again, feminism, LGBTQ rights, and all that kind of stuff, while at the same time supporting a religion that is viciously against these things. However, they will defend, they will in fact call you a racist, as you just saw. If you dare to apply critical thinking and be critical, in fact, of Islam, and the way they, and for example, the way they treat women, just to say one, or gay people. I don't want gay people to be thrown off a freaking 9th floor. But the moment you criticize that, you get called a bigot, because we are told, open quotes, Islamophobia is bigotry, close quotes. Yet, they hate Christianity. They will side with Islam as long as it's a way to attack Christianity, the West, white people, Western civilization, conservatism, and they know it. Which is why they are all a bunch of buffoons. I mean, look at this kind of tweet from Sharmeen Narwani. Look at this. Christ was born in Bethlehem, Palestine, a Muslim-majority country. Be more tolerant, like Jesus. And they think that this is an own. Unbelievable. So like Roman Judea, specifically Bethlehem, to this absolute ignorant moron, was a Muslim-majority country when Jesus was born, where there was no Islam for like the next 700 years. And yet, somehow, this is unknown to the Christians. Delusional. However, the thing is that just like anything Destiny does, it's a move, and he's prepared to lie. He only takes this position of, oh, Islamophobia is a bad thing, you shouldn't do it, and you right-wingers are bigots. He's only saying it not because he actually believes it, but simply because he thinks it's a good way to make his opponents look bad. And yet, look what he said. Yeah.
I want to be very, very, very clear here.
Please.
People seem to misunderstand this. People don't get this.
Okay.
Destiny's joke borders pretty hard on Islamophobia. I am Islamophobic, and I hate Islam.
Okay.
Yes. I will make Islamophobic jokes because I do hate Islam, and I am Islamophobic. Yes.
More than your Islamophobic jokes.
Sneeko brings up, and I hate Islam. Thank you for reminding me. More than what Sneeko brings up.
You're gonna
More
burn
than
in
what
hell.
Sneeko's correct.
Destiny never says Judaism. Why do you fucking retards always come in here and say the most retarded shit? You're so white and you're so American.
Actually, I don't know how good faith Steven's being, because I've watched Steven for years, and a lot of people in chat have. Did you know there's one group of people he does not joke about for the last 4 or 5 years? Every other place he goes edgy. I can find a million clips of any minority group, but there is one where it's like, I can't find Steven doing any anti-Semitic comedy. He can go against blacks, Chinese. Like, if you really want to look for clips of Steven mentioning the Jewish community, it's fucking scarce. But he's an edgy guy.
Right.
He attacks everyone.
You've attacked Islam. You've made a lot of jokes. Even
It's
Zerka
easy
makes
to
jokes
make fun
about
of
Islam too.
Yeah.
Okay, but why is it not
It's
easy
even
to make
easier to make fun of a
Judaism then?
nose.
Because it's not, like, I've challenged people to come on my stream and give me, like, what are good Jewish jokes? I don't even know any. Like, everybody
I
brings up
remember that stream.
There's a lot of jokes.
I got
every single
stream.
one.
I got
Every single one.
If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.
You're so white